welcome to the next episode of YouTube, where I've entitled it A New View. And obviously we are still missing Shadow tremendously here, but we did get the necropsy report, and he had a hemangiosarcoma that originated in the kidneys and spread to his lungs. So it's sad news to know that he had cancer, but we certainly, again, were blessed with the opportunity to work with this incredible individual. And when we move a wolf to the gone but not forgotten, certainly we all have our memories of how each individual wolf acted, and Shadow had his idiosyncrasies, but what we find is that the wolves who lived with Shadow have their own Shadow memories or Shadow displays, and this is Aidan showing that kind of Serenity Now face that we so famously saw on Shadow. So, as I said, the YouTube is entitled A New View, and you will be seeing on the webcams Grizzer, who has now included in his territory the retired area. He gets all three areas to utilize: the pack holding area, which was the original pen that allows him to come right next to the wolf yard and see Tina the dog or see the wolf care staff as soon as they come in. And he has his back habitat that was built for him to be able to climb on that den and see the exhibit pack. But now he also gets, obviously, access into the retired area. And we don't technically call it retired because Grizzer's only 10, so we've nicknamed it the Upper East Side. It is the eastern side of the enclosure's farthest east, and definitely he gets a great view, so he likes to be up there and he likes to watch and listen. And it does seem to be his resting spot. So seeing Grizzer on camera may not be a daily occurrence for people because he does have access to all three areas. It's a kind of a Where's Waldo scenario sometimes looking for Grizzer. We're not certain where he is, and he does have a lot of variety and a lot of opportunities to come and go. But he's getting pretty used to sitting on top of the den. He's not nearly as graceful. He likes to get his belly scratched, if you recall, and he rolls over on top of the den for the wolf care staff and almost rolled off of the den twice. So we're going to have to adjust from that on the ground belly scratching to on the den belly scratching. But the other thing Grizzer likes to do is rearrange. When you first move into a place, you like to do it your way. So Grizzer has taken out a lot more dirt in the den, probably because he didn't fit very well in the den that Malik had dug. So he's excavated out a lot more room, and now it looks like it's a three-family den. So he's spent a lot of time digging that on the first and second day. He likes the bigger pond. He certainly has the opportunity to go up to his neck in water, whereas other enclosure had more of kind of a wading area so that he could get himself wet, but he couldn't really swim. So that's a kind of a good thing. And he still has his moments with breaking trees, and that's something that we kind of have to watch for. So over in the exhibit pack, Luna had a medical exam. Actually, this was an exam. We were able to draw blood, and we were able to have the vet take a listen to her lungs and kind of feel her hip without anesthesia. So Cameron and I sat down with her, and we put a mask and a hood as well as a muzzle on her face, so that allowed the vet to come in and do the procedures without having to immobilize her, and that was real important for us. So we've been doing a lot of the enclosure enrichments. Actually, we do them every day at noon from June 15th until August 14th. We're going to be doing enrichments, and sometimes they're food, sometimes they're things that the wolves get to gather out of the pond. And Denali is, I'm not sure what he's chewing on. I know he went in to get an orange, but I don't think he's eating the orange. Oranges make for a great scent that is foreign to them, so that'll stimulate the scent rolling behavior. And this is Denali on the right and Aidan on the left responding to that. That's another way that we also put on fly ointment, is sometimes we'll just spray it right on the vegetation, and they'll roll right on it because it smells kind of foreign to them. We've been getting a lot of cool days and a lot of windy days, so we've been getting a lot of wolf activity here, but they are still nocturnal. That means that we need to stimulate them to get up in front of the viewing areas in the middle of the warm day. They prefer to be active towards the evenings or in the mornings, not so much in the middle of the day. So that means stimulus such as smell, sight, sound, Those are things that we're using on a regular basis. So I said that's a noontime program when the wolves are always given something to stimulate them. They may not be up very long, but we definitely see that stimulus. We have been seeing a much more active response in the wolves for the photography sessions, which is occurring every Saturday morning at 6:30 a.m. and every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. So those are other 2 times that the wolves are extremely active, as well as the What's for Dinner program is another one, and the behind the scenes. So sometimes, like I say, it is meat, and here is actually Denali chewing on some donated beef, which is really nice looking beef. Nothing wrong with it, except that it was from an older cow who had a little bit of a kind of a gamey taste to it, and the wolves obviously don't care. They like the beef, and so those are some things that are good stimulus. This is Bolts. He's going to try to food bag, and he's going to try to show some subordinate behavior to maybe see if he can get some of that from Denali. Denali's going to do a lip curl and try to give Bolts a direct eye stare, and Bolts is going to do a foreleg stab and kind of try to drag a piece, and he got it. It pays to be submissive sometimes, and you saw his tail was tucked. He was definitely a little bit fearful of that response, but worked out pretty well. Now, he later had another cache, or another beef chunk that he was able to actually guard from Aidan there. And so again, Bolts' confidence is picking up, and that's something that will occur as they get older. So we'll leave this clip. This is a rarity here that both dominant male and female are in a relaxed posture with the wolf care staff. Luna's got a little itch there. But again, we've had a lot of relaxed checks. The exhibit pack really hasn't had any separation anxiety from Shadows Lost, neither has Grizzer actually, and oftentimes you wonder if they don't know before the rest of us that it's time. So that's it for YouTube this week. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all your kind words and thoughts about Shadow. We do miss him, and it's not the same here without him. So we'll see you next week.